What's up, everybody? Welcome to another vlog, and in today's video I'm going to be going to the farm, doing a little bit of work. We're going to likely finish up a couple things on the John Deere 7510. The people are coming from John Deere today, most likely, to wire the GPS system that we got ready in the previous video for them. So they're gonna come to do that. We're gonna dink around in the shop a little bit. We're also going to maybe do a little bit of work and maintenance on the Terrigator. Then this afternoon, because it's a little bit cold, I'm going to be doing some stuff in my garage, a DIY project, not farm related, but farmhouse related. I thought I'd record it at least. Hopefully it turns out. You guys will see it live. Stay tuned, enjoy the video, and let's get started. Alright guys, you saw the intro, but it's actually a couple days later here in this video. That day, I went to the farm. We did some stuff in the morning in the shop, just kind of some little repairs, and I didn't film any of that. And then I actually worked a little bit on this DIY project that I started talking about. So I'm going to be filming this a little bit today, but the main point of the video is going to actually be the John Deere 7510. So you probably came for that. Stay for that, it's coming. But first I want to just talk about this little project since it's what I've been working on. This is what I have done so far. Literally just a stack of wood, but I did do all of these cuts the other day, and then all of these, but we did pocket holes in all of these. So you see little pocket holes for pocket hole screws to hide the screws in this piece of furniture I'm building. That is courtesy of this thing, Craig Jig, which is an amazing tool for furniture building and any kind of woodworking if you don't want to have screws showing. That part's done, and honestly that's kind of the hard part because it's time consuming, drilling all those holes. The thing that I would most likely mess up on if I was gonna mess up, I would say. So today, since all those holes are built, I'm gonna construct the frame of this. I will film that really quickly. I'm here in the garage because before we do that, we need to heat up the garage. It's very cold in here. You can probably see my breath. So, got a fresh propane tank, ready to heat up the garage. I just use this little forced air heater. It does a pretty good job since the garage is decently warm and insulated already. So we're just gonna go ahead and tighten this on, get the heat going, and start warming up the garage for this DIY project. After we get this thing going, got something to show you for the new tractor. All right, so heater's on in the garage. And we are ready to move on to the next activity today for this video. The DIY project will be after this, but I want to talk a little bit about the John Deere 7510. So the 7510, if you've been paying attention to the Jordan Stolz YouTube videos, that's our new tractor on the farm. We've kind of been dinking around with it, making a little bit of changes. You saw in the last video, I hope you watched it, that we got the monitoring system in for the sunflower planting. We got new radio, new speakers, and most importantly, we got the GPS auto steer system put in. The John Deere guy did come on Friday, which was one reason why I didn't film in the shop, because we had a guest. He was there pretty much the whole day wiring up the auto steer system. I'm gonna go take you guys to take a look at it. We're actually gonna take it out to the field, even though we got snow, which I guess is the other news. Got some snow here in North Dakota, at least some frost. Trees look pretty wild, frosty. But even though we have this snow and this frost, we're gonna drive the tractor out and we're going to test out the auto steer in the field. It shouldn't take too long, but it's a new system in this tractor and aftermarket and everything. So hopefully it works as it should. We hope to keep it, you know, relatively low drifting off the line because we're gonna be planting with the auto steer, so we don't want it to be all over the place. So you hope that it stays pretty accurate through the whole time that it's driving itself, essentially. And we just gotta get used to that system a little bit. So, let's go check it out. I'm over here at the shop. Check out that auto steer. And I know Piper's very excited for this because she's wanted to go in this tractor for a long time. And it's just been too cold and the work just hasn't been there. All right, so here it is. This is the newest tractor on Stolz Farm. This is the John Deere 7510. This one's gonna be used for sunflower planting, rock picking, and as essentially the motor for the augers, spinning the PTOs as we unload grain. And as I back up here, there you can see the little dome on top of the cab. Right there is the auto steer for this tractor. I put the screen in the other day, which is inside, and this is very similar to the other systems that we have, like on the 8870, 9520. Let's Ninja Warrior up here. See if we can see this thing up close. All right, there it is. GPS unit up on top of the cab. This is wired down into the roof, and I think it's all good. Looks all bolted down. He did a good job. And if you're not aware, this is essentially gonna allow the tractor to steer itself and allow our rows to be a lot straighter. So I'm gonna fire this bad boy up. We're gonna take it out to the snowy field and see if it's any good. All right, so if you missed it, this is the inside of the cab. This is the screen that I put in the other day, which is just essentially the monitoring system for this. This is gonna be the on switch for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and power that on right now. We still gotta go out to the field, but it might take a while to load. This is pretty similar to the system that's in the 8870, which was the tractor I use a lot this spring. So it should be pretty intuitive, and it shouldn't be too crazy or anything like that, but I am curious to see how accurate it is and how it works in this tractor since it's kind of put on after the fact. Let's begin this auto steer process. We're out here in the old canola field, ready to test this thing out. Automatic guidance system detected. All right, here's the main screen. You can see that with the glares and everything like that. Probably just see me looking back at you. Here's our little tractor. Up in here, this is us right here in the 7510. I'm facing east right now. Looks like these lines are defaulted north and south, so we'll just turn and go north and south just so we don't have to mess with those settings. So let's go ahead and do that right now so we're set up properly. Just flip around here. So when you're lining it up, you want to get kind of close to the line, and then it will pull you in the rest of the way. All right, so now we're facing pretty much north, and we got the north and south line. So we're pretty much close. You kind of just want to get in the area of the line and it'll pull you the rest of the way. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn on the steer right here. Now the steer is on. You'd want that off if you're driving on the road, of course. And I believe there's a couple ways to hit the auto steer. Now in the cab, the actual unit of the auto steer, besides the dome on top, which is the GPS, is actually the steering wheel itself. So this, you can see right here, John Deere Auto Track Universal. This is the unit right here. This is just a new steering wheel essentially for the tractor. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can hit the auto button on the wheel, and also you could do it from the floor. I got a big booty Judy dog down here who's taking up most of the floor space. No offense, Pipes. She's on the lookout for pheasants. But I'm gonna use the one on the steering wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and start going forward. Normally, if you're in the field, you'd be turning the corner, which I'll do up at the end. Since the steer is on, I'm just gonna let off the clutch, hit the steer button, and it should be correcting us. All right, and there we go. So I'm hands-free right now, one hand on the camera, no hands on the wheel. See that? Nothing. And it's keeping us pretty close to the line, it looks like. You can see our little tractor moving through the field right there. Here's the overhead view of us just driving. And let's also look behind, shall we, to see. I mean, it looks pretty straight. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can kind of see my wheel tracks looking down pretty straight down that line. The John Deere guy also tested it. He said it worked great and that it stayed within like 2 inches, which is amazing because that is hardly any when you're talking about planting. This is doing a lot better job than I would at keeping everything straight. We're coming up to the end here, And if this is like the 8870, all you would do is just crank the steering wheel, that turns off the auto steer, it beeps at you. There it is. You would turn around to the next line, which is going to be set to the width of the planter. So that line just popped up right here. And then you just hit auto again. Pulls you right onto the next track. It works pretty well. It is within a few inches, which is just awesome. I mean, I've only seen it go off 1 inch one time in these 2 passes I've done with you guys. So it is pretty much dead on the line of where we need to be. All right, we're here at the end. We'll break the auto steer track and head home. We'll just turn off auto steer for right now. We don't need that tearing us onto a line while we're driving down the road. So I would say that's a success, pretty much within an inch of an exactly straight line. I can see my tracks back behind me and they are dead even. So we'll have the finest sunflowers in the land because of this. Gonna head home here in the tractor. Stay tuned. Hopefully the garage is toasty. That's the point of this thing. Yeah, it feels good in here. I'm gonna start ripping away at this. Let's go. All right, folks, woodwork is done for the day. I can see my breath again. The heat kind of wore out. I did get a lot done, but it's not done, but I made pretty good progress. Here's what we got so far. This is the shelf so far. So drilled all those pocket holes and got this shelf on here, both on the middle and the bottom. The top is gonna be planked using these boards right there. So that's not done yet, but that should be faster than all the pocket holes. And then just have to add in little trim pieces like from here to here, here to here. So pretty much almost done. I think besides the staining and all that, this should be done as far as put together in a day. It was a good day. Got to test the auto steer, got to do a little woodworking in the garage, stayed warm relatively, and made another video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and sharing the channel. If you want to kind of keep up with more farmhousey stuff and some DIY projects, go follow me on Instagram, Stolz Jordan, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jordan Stolz. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.